How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Scarlet, and welcome back to a brand new video. Today we've got some Pokemon rumors, leaks, all the things in between to talk about, so let's get started. First things first is going to be this post right here from, of course, Soul Silver Art. If you guys do not know who he is a leak analyst. He just analyzes and makes like little theories about specifically Pokemon leaks, and he's here talking about a leak that was posted by Riddler Coup, who's a legitimate leaker that has been correct in the past. And here's what he says. This riddle is giving off this kind of vibe to me. I'm not saying that it's these Pokemon, there's even multiple Pokemon in this, especially because there could be a single future and past motif. But it's interesting that these two are crucial to this Scarlet and Violet DLC, Sword and Shield DLC, yet never officially revealed beforehand. And what he's talking about here specifically is this post right here that he made, which is, okay, fam, this is the second riddle of the three, and of this riddle game, that's why Coup starts this out with Secondo. And this is the post right here from Riddler Coup. Again, if you do not know who he is, this is the person up there. He is a legitimate leaker, and he posted this saying, Secondo, the Terrasuto, what you see now, I see Shin in this picture, what about you? And then people kind of made little theories about it, and what he thinks here is that this could potentially have a relationship to these two, which actually technically never really were. I don't remember if they were revealed before or after for Pokemon, Sword and Shield's Crown Tundra DLC. I don't think they were revealed ahead of time. They were leaked ahead of time, though. The leaks for these did happen, but beyond that, I'm not really sure. But he does say here, though, is it possible that we might be getting something similar to this for the Pokemon Scarlet and Violet DLC? Two Pokemon like this that will be kind of legendary, that will have, some impact similar to this, which would be interesting. Also, the fact that these two are black and white is kind of an interesting fact as well. He says then also down here, also I do want to include another really fun thing here that I think you guys might find interesting. I'm going to just really quickly get my hands on it. It was from a person called Kuro Blitz. You guys may know him on Twitter, but he specifically left a tweet which was kind of funny. Which is this one. I just want to show it for fun. Of course, it doesn't probably mean anything, but it's worth mentioning. He says, OMG, Unova confirmed. Dead emoji. Of course, just memeing. But it is kind of funny to see that this was in the Pokemon games, and it was specifically, which design would you like to choose? And the two that were included were sparkling white and glistening black, which is interesting if you think about Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. Just think about those names and then think about what you're reading right here. Sparkling white, glistening black. Those are some interesting names for potential remakes in the future. I just think it's pretty cool to see that. I think it's pretty interesting. I think it's pretty funny to look at. And it would be making a lot of sense if they were actually, to call them something like this. It would just make sense. But I want to include that because it does relate to this whole black and white thing, because there's a lot of talks about that. And we do have these two items, by the way. I will point out this as well. These two items are in the files of the games, but we don't really know what they're for exactly. But they are supposed to be used probably in the DLC for some way, purpose, or reason. Either way, we continue on here, though, in terms of all this. And we don't really have much else to say in terms of this rumor, but we do have Jan down here saying, to be honest, I believe it's even possible that two Pokemon hinted in the image have nothing to do with each other. Just one looks like a skyscraper motif, and the other looks like a tree motif. Really depends on how Coup designed the riddle. Because, yes, it could have nothing to do with Pokemon, black and white, and Black City, and, the white tree, and all that sort of stuff. Or White Forest, sorry. Might have nothing to do with any of those, but we don't really know. Either way, we're going to move on to the next thing here, which is a bit of a theory from Somir, who says, according to Pokemon Masters, Rose and Olivia are not the ones from the Sword and Shield canon, or at least not the current ones, but rather alter egos that come from the past, in the same way that Adamas and Nakara came from the past. Is it possible that Pokemon is planning a multiverse? Unlikely, but, hopefully. But that's just from him playing Pokemon, this Pokemon, Masters, I guess. I forget its name sometimes. But he says, basically here says, I'm just going to translate this. Wait, here's some yarn material. I don't really know what that's supposed to mean. But basically, that the people we're seeing here, the characters, are not actually from this universe, but they're from an alternate one, which would be pretty cool and interesting if they were to implement that to the main games, but we'll have to wait and see. Next tweet is this one from Light. Shout out to Light, by the way, for posting these. He says, I think I've probably cracked which Pokemon will be the next regional fake for Paldea. This is a breakdown. So this is specifically coming from the fact that the Riddler posted there's going to be a new regional fake, but we don't really know exactly what it is. It says, this is the breakdown of info which I did. If we take a look at the two regional fakes we have, Toadschool and Toadscruel, Wiglet and Wugtrio. The names of the regional fakes has identical syllables as the original ones, so this new one must have at least one. If we think of the watermelon coughing was true, but only the part that that it will be a watermelon-based Pokemon, not coughing. Why I said this, because this leak is confirmed that there are some types that are true, so this leak has been doing wrong on purpose and keeping something true. And he's talking about this post right here. This was a post on 4chan, and it was talking about a watermelon looking, freaking coughing. But either way, he continues on and says, so some of the leak has been true and some hasn't. Colors will go from purple to green. So assuming that all the above is true, there should be a Pokemon with syllable that matches with the watermelon. If we check all the purple dexes, there's only one that matches with this. DRIFLOON, watermelon. Oh, oh my lord. Watermelon. Oh my lord. Okay, and if we take a look at Toadstool and DRIFLOON, they are very similar, so probably they will be the best friends in Paldea. Summarizing, there will be a regional fake based on Watermelon DRIFLOON, which will be mostly grass type and walk as Toadstool. Take this just as speculation. Tomorrow I will do a video about this. But yeah, so interesting to imagine, but I don't really know if that's going to be the case. But hey, fun theory nonetheless though. And also check out Light, by the way. He does post a lot of great stuff. He makes a lot of great theories and stuff. So do definitely check him out, because he does make a lot of great posts and everything he posts on YouTube as well. So definitely give him a look-see. Check out what he's up to and see what he's been doing. And here as well, he says, just to push this push the speculation of DRIFLOON regional fake a bit further, I will show you the real leaker Pioro, his and her approval, which is I don't really know much about Pioro or whatever, but apparently they've also agreed with this, because Pioro did leave a like on this. So, and yes, no, I do remember Pioro now. Sorry, I forgot about Pioro. Is another leaker who legitimately has leaked stuff. Totally forgot about them for a minute though, but that's an interesting one. Next up, there's a post from Soul Silver, and this is about, I think, the brand new mechanic that's supposed to be in the game. He says, I've been thinking a lot about the rumored terraforms. Believe it or not, I have specifically not gone in depth on this topic because I didn't want to spoil it. And the truth is, we really don't know much about it or how it will actually be implemented, which is true. We don't really know anything about a brand new feature or how that would work. On top of that, recently we've gotten many DLC leaks, but nothing more on these forms, and it's starting to become concerning to me. Concerning in the sense that maybe as a community we misinterpreted the info we've gotten. As fans, we automatically think new Mega-like forms, but the fact remains we only have a hint at what these forms could be, not a full picture. So I believe I compiled a picture of the more important riddles and leaks about these forms. I highly recommend to looking at each picture and reading the details in depth, but I'll try to quickly recap them now too. The special Terrastol appearance is the most concrete description we have. So basically, we have these posts right here, where he says, your both version info, here's a first batch of Pokemon. We're going to be wearing special hats or masks in Sudachi. Sudachi is just the code name for the DLC. Got a clue and not surprised, huh? And then it's just Pokemon with Terrastol, like I guess Terrastol icons next to them. Cool and Beep from No Artist. And it's a Terrastol Hatterini, which has like a custom design on it, as well as a few other Pokemon like Sudowoodo. And the people replied here saying, I know it's just cool liking fan art, but what does the beep mean? You know, you will know it one day, which is again very strange. And here he also said one of them is different, which, since you were all spoiled with this, yep, Mega is the only one that's exclusive to a limited amount of Pokemon, while others got both public and privilege facets on Pokemon selection. And then, of course, there was some posts here from some people, from actually genuine leakers, the Skabai leaker, which specifically said they're a programmer, and they talked about like there being a brand new feature. And they were really, this was a legitimate leak. It was real, and it did talk about a brand new feature. So there clearly is some stuff about this, but let's continue. So, is the most concrete description we have. There seems to be a decent amount of them for a specific amount of Pokemon. Visually, we don't know the drastic changes will be other than new Terra Hat and maybe a mask. The hardest one to figure out is the April Fool's riddle, because it was both real and fake. That was supposedly just our first batch of them, but we know, but who knows? It could be all of them or none. Or one. So now my other concern is how impactful important could these forms be if they're only available in just the DLC. It's like debuting G-Max forms, but they were only available in Crown Tundra. This also brings up the question of how many forms could there even be for at least just one DLC pack. There must be at least 5 to 10 specific ones if that's even how this mechanic truly functions. But even that is so little, and for what reason? Question mark. If they are substantial in battle mechanic, what does that mean for the Scarlet and Violet competitive metagame and metagames of the future Gen 9 games that follow Scarlet and Violet? True. There's always the scenario where Game Freak cut or changed all of this to and that's why leaks in them have gone cold. So I hope that we are all just cautious with our expectations for now. Which, yes, we don't really know much about that feature and what it could be. Also, it all depends on how the mechanic will work too. There is also no information how these forms will actually practically function in battle. Everyone's just assuming that it's going to be the usual Terra type change, but now that Pokemon will change visually as well. But the truth is, we already have Pokemon with one type changing into a different type in base Scarlet and Violet, so it's going to have to be a different mechanic than that. Maybe it's going to give 4 times stab to the new or same type the Pokemon changes into. So yes, there is very little concrete like details on what this feature is going to be like, if it even is in the game, and how it will even function. So yes, interesting post here. I would definitely recommend going into the full thing on your own if you want to get even further details, but that was just what we had for now. So I just thought it'd be worth to actually bring it up and all that. But yeah, I think for the most part, we've gone through most of the stuff. There is this post as well here from, of course, Soul Silver, who says, but not from a leaker, instead from an AI. This is actually amazing. This person is a genius and had an AI try to translate the old Teal Mask legend tale on this sign. I actually think the Game Freak may have written part of the tale on this because it sounds like it could be real, or at least very much sounds like that could be the legend in Scarlet and Violet's DLC 1. And it's basically just a AI trying to write what the story was about, or at least to figure out what the actual sign here actually says by trying to figure out the language behind it. And you have Diancie here, who actually made a whole thread about it, which is pretty freaking crazy. So shout out to Diancie, gonna give them a follow here. So I follow a famous Pokemon leaker who gives out information in forms of riddles, and I think we managed to crack one. The leaker posted this with a smiley, winky emoji, and stating this may contain info on both Scarlet and Violet's DLC coming up. It says, I was scrolling through the replies and saw that, I guess, Vortex's reply and saw a connection. They used elements and stuff to make this text and connected it to the language in Legends Arceus. They also posted a sort of translator grid from Element Collector 1 on Bulba Garden's forums. So I thought I would take a crack at translating this. After a bit of work and Google searching, I replaced the text with Japanese characters. Some of the characters I couldn't use the grid for, so I tried Google, and it worked. And then Google Translate didn't help much with translating Japanese, so I turned to AI. It said that the text was fragmented, so I told it to context it was from Pokemon, and that's what it came up with. It appears that to be a new Pokemon names mainly. So what you see here is, as previously mentioned, some parts remain unclear. Actually, we have to go, I guess, from the beginning here. So we're going to go back to the original tweet. So it says here, you got Neno Yuhiki, Zuhige Sogyumi, Taskiria Getoku, Kanoteku Chi Homi, and then Issa. As I previously mentioned, some parts remain unclear due to the possible typos or missing characters, so I'll provide a general interpretation of the text. Title, unknown. Once upon a time in the Pokemon world, there was a Pokemon named Hasota. Hasota was curious and adventurous. And then it continues on. Let's see. Pokemon always exploring new places and encountering various Pokemon friends. One day, while traveling with its Pokemon friends, Mimam, and then a bunch of names here, they stumble upon a mysterious place called something something. This place was said to hold a legendary treasure, and the group decided to embark on a quest to find it. Their journey was filled with thrilling adventures and challenges. They encountered wild Pokemon like that Pokemon, and they battled through various obstacles to reach their destination. In their quest, they also met a wise Pokemon known as Something, who guided them and shared ancient wisdom with them, with the group. As they got closer to the treasure, they faced a fierce Pokemon called This. This Pokemon guarded the legendary treasure with all its might, and a great battle ensued. During the intense fighting, their friend showed remarkable courage and strength. They also learned the importance of teamwork and friendship as they all supported and encouraged each other. That just sounds very generic. But either way, in the end, they returned home. So, just kind of in a general, kind of a way of trying to interpret what this sign says, because apparently this sign has something to do with both the first and second DLC, like some big impact, but we don't know exactly what that's supposed to be, so it's just worth bringing up. And then we, of course, have the biggest post of today, which was this post by riddles. Now, if you actually translate this post right here, like literally translated, what it says is, no matter which world you are in, you cannot indulge your desires and lose your sense of justice. And it's a picture of specifically, black and white. So you've got, oh my lord, I forgot the names. You got Reshiram and Zekrom. And basically, they're just on this image. Now, what is this image from? It's actually the Chinese image. And this is shout out to Z Blonde here and a few other people for actually shout out to Jan for sending this my way. But basically, it's just a repost of the, I guess the Weibo, which is basically the, I think Chinese Facebook. Kind of. And there was a post by the official Pokemon account that they're bringing the Pokemon Black and White seasons to the Chinese market, and they're basically making like Chinese versions of it or translating into Chinese or Mandarin, whatever you want to refer to it as. But the thing is, I think he must have used the exact same text here. Yeah, he just copy pasted the exact same text. So again, nothing too major from that, just thought it would be worth to bring up because a lot of people will be losing their minds by seeing that, but I was already a little bit of sus on it, so I decided to wait and see what was going to come from it. And it looks like he just tweeted something from that account, which usually he does do this when it's anything China related. He does actually tweet Chinese tweets that have nothing to do with upcoming DLC and stuff. So yeah, I want to thank you all for watching. Peace out.